We Are All the Same Being by Melanie Barrett. It's so interesting to contemplate that everything our individual brain thinks about reality is a limited distortion. It's not wrong because it's spontaneously happening, but it is a limited viewpoint. Only you alone see the world in the way that you see it. You have no idea that your perception of reality is even remotely similar to another human's interpretation. You say, I see the color red, and I say, I see the color red too, and we can loosely agree. But how on earth would we ever know precisely what each other's red appears like in our brain? It is the brain that sees. The brain receives light pulse information through the eyes. The sensory information is converted into electrical impulses that becomes a picture in the brain. The eye is not seeing, the brain is seeing. And it is only seeing an interpretation of light. The individual brain is interpreting every word that anybody says in just the same way. We have these words, symbols that loosely attempt to describe what we want to communicate to one another, and how impossible is that when the way that each individual brain interprets meaning from an individual word will be entirely unique to that individual. You can say, this restaurant isn't how I thought it would be, and my brain will interpret those words according to my database about you. If my brain has categorized and labeled you as miserable or hard to please, then these words will be interpreted as, I thought the restaurant would be better than this. My brain's interpretation will always be based on its limited historical information about you, old news. You may have actually been thinking, the restaurant is better than I thought it would be. The brain has to operate this way. It is a data processing tool. It has to take shortcuts. It has to categorize and label events so that it doesn't have to go back to the drawing board every morning. If it didn't categorize and label in this way, then you wouldn't remember how to clean your teeth or wash your hair or make a coffee. You wouldn't remember what your name is, or who anybody else is. Each morning, the brain is already primed with its interpretations. That is why life can feel like Groundhog Day. But what you are is a blank slate. What you are has no opinions or bias. What you are is the innocence of the child who makes no assumptions about anything or anyone. You are the observer of the brain's interpretations. You have always been completely free, pristine, clear, empty, looking. This place of unconditional love, beyond our brain's interpretation, is where we truly meet each other. Here, we are the same. Oneness. The brain or mind is an amazing tool to navigate reality, as long as we remember it is just a tool.